Hello everyone. Before we move on, we need to talk about interactive components because they are going to make your life so much easier, I promise. Now, what are they? They allow you to create prototype interactions between variants in a component set. So that means anytime you add an instance to your designs, those interactions are set up and ready to go. This saves you time when creating prototypes and prevents unnecessary noodle soup. What's noodle soup? Can you imagine if you had to prototype a massive frame like this for every hover and click interaction in a long registration form? You'd go bananas. So with interactive components, we only need to add an instance of that checkbox or this button or whatever element that you're designing to our design, and its variant interactions are ready to go. And so when we view the prototype, Figma will automatically switch between the checked and unchecked variants, or the hover variants, or the clicked variants. Let's jump in and just take a quick look over here. So that means over here, I have this nice little button. We can easily go ahead and see that it has a hover, so it changed on hover state, and we have the when we are done this, it can, mouse leave will go back to the default state and all that will be connected. But even if we look at this scenario over here, we have a checkbox that has its own checked and unchecked state. Whenever you use this checked button or component, it's always going to be clickable. So what does that mean? So if I come in here, I can just click it on and off instead of having to remake bigger frames. So let's go ahead and create our own interactive component, and I'll show you how to do that. So to create an interactive component, all you need to do is we'll create a button. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a text layer here, and I'm going to call this button. And then I'm going to press Shift A as my frame. I'm just going to fill that as black. And then the text is going to be white. And then I'm going to just rename this to button. And then I'm going to create that component and then go into my properties and create the variant. The next step is to copy this button below. So I'm going to copy and drag that. And then all I'm going to do is change that fill to something much brighter. And then I'm going to call this one my hover state. So remember, with components and variants, this is where, it becomes really powerful. So we can see that we have our state over here. I like to make sure things are as neat as possible so the next thing that we can do, so now that we have our button component and if we drag this somewhere, we can have a hover state and my default state. That's not what I want though. What I want to do is I want to go to my prototype tab and I want to actually make sure that I am enabling interactive components. I'm going to select this, and when I hover on it, let's jump in. What do we have here? So change to, I'm just going to make sure that that's smart animate. And there we go. What I'm going to do now is I am actually just going to throw this on our page here. Oops. So if we go into one of these exercises, we can see that's like that. So right now it's set up to on click. So we're just going to switch it right there. And there we go. So just like that, you can create an interactive component. That's just like this one.